Hey, this is Benjamin here, and I finally got my laser. Woo. As you can see here, it is a beast, 220 pounds. Just finished helping the guy move it into the house here, and as you can see, I'm drenched with sweat. So I'm gonna cool off for a second and then get this thing put together. I can't wait to test it out this afternoon. Okay, so we got the laser in yesterday, and as you saw, it was massive, and had to basically assemble the stand and everything for it, and then get the laser on top of the stand. And so now we're starting on the first project, which is going to be my business cards. As you can see in the screenshot I'm about to show you, I've got those laid out. We're going to do a 18 by 24 layout of cards and try to cram as many of them on the wood as we can. And I'm going to use some really beautiful walnut wood that we're going to burn it into, or cut it from, should I say, sorry. And I'm hoping they turn out really well. We'll see. Here we are with the laser system, and as you can see, I've got it all assembled. I'm very excited about the quality of the machine as far as construction is very nice. Have no doubt that this is going to last a long time. As you can see on the right there, due to zoning issues here, I can't run this and exhaust to the outside of the building like most people do, so I had to get the air filtration system from Fumex there, and that uses multiple layers of filter types to remove all the debris from the air, and then all the microns from the air, and eventually all the fumes from the air before it pumps it back out in the room. It adds some extra noise, as you can hear. It's not bad though. It's about the volume of a normal conversation, but it's all white noise, as I'm sure you hear. So that's nice, and the cool part about having that is now I can go to craft shows and stuff like that, and I don't have to worry about my exhaust in those situations either. Now at the bottom there you see I got a cheap Harbor Freight air compressor. That one is designed specifically for airbrushing, but it puts out about twice the air pressure, or is capable of putting out twice the air pressure that I need for the laser here, so it does everything we need for the air assist. I've got this beautiful piece of walnut wood lined up and ready to go, and the print job I've already sent to it, so let's hit print and get it going, and we'll come back to it here in a little bit and see how it looks. Okay, so as you can see, we're just about done with the raster engraving on these. Wood here, actually, it looks like there's a different type of wood in the middle of it, which is not what I purchased, but as you can see, it still works out pretty well. I like the way that this looks. It actually has a nice two-tone effect. So I'm going to pretend like I meant to do that. I did have to adjust the graphics a little bit to work with that. I was actually engraving the inverse of what we see here, so that the walnut had the darker buildings and the word River City. So I went back and inversed the graphic after seeing what it was doing, and like I said, I like the way this looks. So now that we're nearly done with the raster engraving, you're going to see us about to start cutting out the cards any second now. And I could watch this part of it all day long. My wife calls this cutting out Tetris pieces in the test that we did earlier. But here, I'll get up closer where you can see it. So I wanted these cards to show off the capability of the laser and just how accurate it can be. So I intentionally generated this repeating pattern. And I think you'll see in the finished product, it really makes these stand out and shine just how much detail I can do with a laser system like this. So I'm going to let this continue doing its thing for a little while, and we'll come back whenever it starts to cut out the cards so that we can see the final product. Okay, so it is finishing up cutting out the last of the Tetris pieces, and there it goes. It's now cutting out each of the individual cards from that to let us see the final product. I think these look really good. We got another minute or so of it cutting out these cards, but once it's done, I'll pull them out and take a look, and then we'll start on the back side. Okay, so the system just finished cutting out the cards, and so we're gonna take a look real quick. So
This is always one of the most fun parts, when I pick up the tray and the cards come out. It looks like these are wanting to stick a little bit, but that's alright, they pop right out. Next time I will slow the laser beam down a little bit so that it spends a little bit more time on the cutting process. But again, that's not much of a problem. These are snapping right out without issue. Just not as smoothly as I wish. Alright. So there's our blank that the cards came from. And we'll take one of these real quick and push out the little Tetris pieces. And there we go. So you can see the front side of the final card at least. And again, I think that looks pretty amazing. So I'm going to clean the rest of these cards up and I'll pull them off the cutting bed, and then we'll start on the back side in just a few minutes. That's the finished front side of these, but as you can see on the back side, we have yet to engrave anything on them, and that's where my contact info is going to go. So I'm going to line it up in the very top left corner, make sure it's nice and snug so we get our alignment proper, and got the print job already sent to the printer. The laser cutter, sorry. Awesome. I love how fast this thing works. Now that front side didn't seem very fast. It was 1 hour and 2 minutes to complete the print job, the total job. But we were also running 3 different jobs essentially together in one. We had one full sheet, 18 by 24, that we engraved. Then we had again full sheet that we went back and cut all the Tetris shapes out with, and then we had to go back one more time and cut the cards out of the wood finally. So. That sounds like a long amount of time, but to be honest, considering there's 3 different jobs in one, it's not too bad. This right here took 50 seconds to complete, as you just saw, and there's the final product. Nice engraved name. My title is owner and designer, and my contact info. And again, I think these look really good. Now you see a little bit of shininess here, and that's okay. That's the sap or resin that was in the wood. As it cuts, that stuff comes to the surface, and it wipes off with a wet rag, and I'll do that in just a little bit once I finish cutting all these. But for now, I think these look great. So the business cards look great, and I can't wait to hand them out. I think they're not just a good way to get out my contact info to people, but they show the quality of the work I can do, because they're fairly technical, and they show detail that most other people can't do. So yay for that. I can't wait to hand them out. I wanted to thank a few people before I let you guys go. First off, Ted Crowdis with Rest Corp in Olive Branch, Mississippi. He's the business consultant I worked with when I first started this thing, and I'm not going to say I couldn't have done it without him, but I can definitely say it would have been a royal headache without him. So Ted, thank you for everything you did, and I can't wait to do more business with you. Next up is RS Digital and Laser in Knoxville, Tennessee. They're on the wrong side of the state from me, but they have been extremely helpful from the time I said I'm interested in getting a machine all the way up to the day it was delivered. They've been in constant contact with me. They have answered every question I've had. They told me, hey, you can save a little money here if you do this, and they've told me, hey, you don't want to do that, do it right from the first time and get this instead. And you know what, so far it looks like every piece of advice they gave me has been right, and overall their customer service was great. So Randy Sharp and the rest of RS Digital and Laser, thank you for everything you guys did. Next up is Epilogue Laser Systems. They're the ones that actually built the laser and designed the equipment. This thing is a sturdy hoss of a machine. I have no doubt that it's going to be standing and working 10, 15 years away from now. I'm sure there will be tubes that are going to be replaced between now and then, but that's expected and normal. What I can't say is that if I had bought some other Chinese system online for a third of the cost, that this would be holding up in 5 years from now. Not like this machine's going to. I'm very proud of this machine. I'm very excited because I can see exactly how good it is from the moment I pulled it out of the crate. So thank you guys for building a good machine, and I look forward to continuing to do business with you guys in the future as I upgrade. Next up is Doug Green. Doug Green has a YouTube channel that I suggest anybody check out that's interested in working in CorelDRAW or designing things for a laser cutter and engraver. Doug Green's channel just kept coming up every time I had a question and I started searching online. His YouTube channel is the one that had the answer almost every time, and he does a great job of explaining how to work with it. He demonstrates things on his channel. He's got great ideas, and he's literally got hundreds and hundreds of videos. Most of them are about 5 to 7 minutes long, and when you walk away from it, you have learned something that you didn't know before you started it. So if you're at all interested, Doug Green's channel needs to be subscribed to. Last but not least is the most important of the thank yous. My wonderful wife, who has supported me the last few months and has encouraged me, and anyway, plus she's just hella cute. So thank you, Christa, for everything you've done, and I can't wait to see where this goes. So thank you all you guys too. Please share this with other people. We'll have more videos as I make more things here shortly. So hopefully by the end of the week there's 2 or 3 more videos up. Thanks.